big bucks.
Hey, you know, where do I sign?
The story on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather tomorrow.
This is CBS.
Coming up next on Tulsa Tonight, a Tulsa police officer is dead after an accident late this afternoon with his own gun. The House continues its debate over a nuclear freeze resolution late into the night, but the measure is expected to pass. And the University of Tulsa begins play at the National Invitational Tournament. These stories and more next on Tulsa Tonight.
Every day, people face the moment of truth. The moment they decide if their dishwasher detergent did the job.
I don't want to see spots on the glasses.
Or didn't quite do the job.
I see spots on the glasses.
You ought to try Cascade. Most detergents can leave drops that spot, but Cascade has sheeting action to leave glasses virtually spotless. Cascade's moment of truth.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Is Cascade's moment of glory.
It's the paper bottle, Ocean Spray's packaging breakthrough.
Good for you, Ocean Spray!
Now I know wherever they go, they're drinking what's good for them.
Good for you, Mom!
Every paper bottle has its own straw.
And has our same fresh fruit taste with no artificial preservatives.
And that's good for your family!
We love cranberry drinks.
Like cran apple.
And cran grape. We like pink grapefruit.
Now in the paper bottle, pure apple juice.
It's good for you, America. From Ocean Spray.
With everything that Tulsa means to you.
Live, this is Channel 6 Eyewitness News.
Good evening. Clayton Vaughn has the night off tonight. Joining me here at the anchor desk this evening is Gilda Unruh. At the top of our news at this hour, Tulsa police are mourning the loss of one of their officers tonight after a tragic shooting accident. Gail Pennybacher was on the scene. She's back in the newsroom now. Gail, what can you tell us about this?
Bob, police were dispatched to a shooting call around 5 o'clock this afternoon at the Brownstone Apartments located at 3377 East Skelly Drive. When the officers arrived on the scene, they were met by 3 off-duty officers. Inside the apartment, their friend and co-worker, 23-year-old Officer George R. Dunn, was on the floor with a gunshot wound to his head.
At approximately 5:10 p.m. this afternoon, one of our officers was playing with a service revolver. It belonged to his roommate. The roommate had just returned from court, and they were playing around with the revolver. There were 4 officers present, plus 1 white female, and while the officer was playing with the gun, it discharged and entered his left eye and out the top of his head.
Dunn was rushed by EMSA to St. Francis Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival.
Gail, I'm wondering what happens now. Is there going to be an investigation here?
Bob, certainly one of the hardest things the police department must do is to investigate the death of one of its officers. The investigation began this evening and will continue. At this time, the shooting is termed as accidental. They are interviewing witnesses and the roommates involved on the scene, and they will have more information for us tomorrow.
Okay, Gail, thank you for the report. The Anadarko police chief was arrested today and charged with fraudulently buying large doses of powerful drugs by convincing doctors his complaints of pain were real. Anadarko Police Chief Jack Holy was arraigned today and released on his own recognizance. Holy is alleged to have obtained prescriptions for Darvon and Percodan from 6 different doctors for almost 3,000 tablets. The charge does not say whether Holy took those pills himself.
The House continues its debate on the nuclear arms freeze at this hour. The non-binding resolution calls on the United States and Soviet Union to stop adding arms to the nuclear stockpile. Earlier in the day, supporters of the freeze won a test vote on an amendment that seeks arms reductions instead of just a freeze. House Speaker Tip O'Neill predicts the House will pass the resolution, but is not optimistic about the chances in the Senate. President Reagan has already said he'll not sign such a resolution. A group of Sand Springs residents marched today to protest their outrage over a Tulsa judge's refusal yesterday to order Brett Harris to stand trial for the murder of a Sand Springs teenager. The marchers, who were friends and relatives of 17-year-old Paula Stringer, say they feel yesterday's ruling by Special Judge John Reef, which said there wasn't enough evidence for a trial, was wrong. Susan Watson followed the marchers today and has this report.
Their walk began this morning about 10:30 at 2nd and Wilson in Sand Springs.
Sandra Stain, a lifelong resident of the community for 32 years, says she called the walk because she is outraged by the decision, and she says Brett Harris is guilty, regardless of yesterday's lack of evidence ruling.
Maybe the police station or the police, if they would dig a little deeper, they would find out that Brett is guilty of Paula's death.
Stain, along with 8 other protesters, including Paula Stringer's grandmother, says the community feels the same way. To prove it, they are also drawing up a petition and bumper stickers.
I think if they keep him in, maybe some other little girl won't get hurt or something.
The 7-mile walk ended some 3.5 hours later here at the Tulsa County Courthouse. The protesters had intended to ask the judge himself not to let Harris be released, but the Sheriff's Department intervened.
Said that you could demonstrate all you wanted to out here, but you could not come in the courthouse. Okay.
If nothing else, the walk attracted much attention. Cars and people along the way honked to show their support. And because of that, Stain believes it was all well worth it.
If I had it to do over again, I'd do it again.
The real test of how successful the walk was will be Friday, when the district attorney's office is expected to announce appeal, and Harris's attorney is expected to ask for his client's release. Susan Watson, Channel 6 Eyewitness News.
The state of Oklahoma should be back on the mark, at least financially, after yesterday's passage of that $90 million budget reduction measure. At least so says Senate Appropriations Chairman Roger Randall of Tulsa, who adds that he expects the state to have a cushion to fall back on should things get worse this spring.
And through the bills that we have to speed up some tax collections that move those collections ahead in time as far as the year in which they're collected. We'll also deal with the reserve problem for beginning the new year that begins on July 1st.
That $90 million was what the state last year thought it would have, but did not end up with in collecting. It's the first time the legislature has had to reduce state spending because of the lack of money since the balanced budget amendment took effect some 41 years ago.
Today's news is good and a little surprising for the building industry in this country. A government report issued today by the Commerce Department says construction of new houses and apartments increased 2.9% last month. It's the largest increase since 1979. At the same time, factory production increased last month for the 3rd straight month.
And still ahead on Tulsa tonight, a look at the controversy over Tulsa firefighters and workmen's compensation.
Mazio's Pizza has a special treat for all you pizza lovers.
Get into the thick of
Thick, hot pizza piled high with mozzarella.
Get into the good of it.
Right now, if you buy this Mazio's cup filled with Pepsi-Cola for 69 cents, you can get free Pepsi for a whole year. So when you come back for one of Mazio's famous sandwiches or our thick, juicy pizza, you get free Pepsi, too.
Mazio's Pizza. Get into the thick of it.
Get ready, partner, for the big 3-day shootout at the Clark Country Corral. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're going to blow the lid off the competition. Say goodbye to high prices, big down payments, high monthly payments. Every new car, truck, and van is on the firing line at Clark Country Chevrolet. Come on in and score a bullseye on the best buy you can make anywhere, and have a free Pepsi. Don't miss our big 3-day shootout this weekend at Clark Country Chevrolet. Yahoo!
This week only, shop Sanger Harris Springfest 83, where store-wide savings are in bloom on fashions and furnishings for you and your home. Sanger Harris Springfest 83, this week only. Don't miss it.
Within the last 2 months, at least 9 firefighters have been relieved of their duties because of disabilities they received on the job. 4 of the 9 men were dismissed yesterday. Tonight, Tim Miller looks at both sides of the issue.
When a fireman is injured, the normal procedure is for him to apply for workman's compensation benefits. He must then appear before a disability review committee. That was the case with the 4 firemen who received notice yesterday that they were being, quote, separated from their jobs.
If a firefighter has a respiratory, 30% respiratory, and couldn't, in fact, climb 2 flights of stairs without getting out of breath, it just doesn't make any sense. that he would have the capacity then to be a firefighter.
But to the firemen, that's plain and simple dismissal. None of the men who were separated from their jobs would appear on camera at their attorney's advice. In a letter sent by the city, the firemen were informed that if they desired, quote, to be placed in a position which would be compatible with your disability, if and or when such a position becomes available, you should come to the personnel department. While the former fireman's attorney, Richard Bell, says he believes this is an effective conspiracy to intimidate these people out of making compensation claims.
Somebody in either the media or the public would say, well, you filed for workman's compensation, and therefore we're firing you because you did. And that is simply not true. They're two separate and distinct actions.
There will be a hearing at Friday's City Commission meeting to discuss the firemen's cases. Tim Miller, Channel 6 Eyewitness News.
The incinerated remains of a mother and her young 3 children were found in their trailer home early this morning when firefighters finally doused a huge natural gas fire in Odessa, Texas. Officials also uncovered the charred body of the man whose drill cut through the natural gas pipeline and ignited the blaze. 5 other people are hurt, 1 critically. Flames reportedly shot up 600 feet into the air. The firefighters battled the fire for 12 hours.
Arthur Godfrey, one of America's most familiar and popular personalities since the 1940s, died today at the age of 79. Americans first appreciated Godfrey's homey, down-to-earth style during Prohibition when Godfrey played the banjo on radio. Godfrey's popularity increased, expanding to television. At the height of his career, Godfrey was said to have 82 million viewers for his primetime CBS show. Godfrey had been in New York's Mount Sinai Hospital with pneumonia and emphysema for almost 2 weeks.
The Explorer Scouts, the youth program of the Tulsa Police Department, will begin fingerprinting young people in the area. Several cities across the country have adopted the idea. Police encourage parents to have their children fingerprinted to aid in kidnapping investigations.
In the event that they are kidnapped, and there have been some recently that have been gone for several years, that after a number of years the parents have gotten them back, you know, they've changed some. Fingerprints don't change. They'll stay the same unless they're marred or a scar or burnt or something. Your fingerprints are your own. They're not like anybody else's, and that way we can at least use a comparison on them.
The Tulsa Explorers will have their fingerprint kits at the Scoutorama on the Tulsa County Fairgrounds this weekend. April 9th, the Explorers will be available to make fingerprints at the Uniform Division East and West.
Violence erupted in Lebanon today. 2 Israeli soldiers were killed. Several U.S. and Italian soldiers were injured in 3 separate incidents. A landmine about 3 miles from Beirut killed those Israeli soldiers. 5 U.S. Marines on patrol suffered minor shrapnel wounds to the arms and legs when a grenade went off. 8 Italian soldiers were later ambushed by those gunmen.
It's a little chilly outside tonight, if you hadn't noticed, and there could be a little rain in the forecast. Meteorologist Jim Giles is next with our forecast.
I'm Hank Schroeder, sales manager for Bill White's Economy Store at 4425 East 11th Street. If you're interested in a pre-owned car or truck, remember the Economy Store. And if you're interested in a leisure van, we will surely be able to satisfy your needs because we normally stock over 20 different conversion vans. Bill White is also Tulsa's franchise dealer for the all-new 24 miles a gallon, diesel-powered, front-wheel drive Centauri van by Winnebago. Stop by Bill White's Economy Store at 4425 East 11th Street.
Silk is worldly, luxurious, and practical. Now Anthony's can put a man in a Joe Namath pure silk sport coat paired with Hager slacks for just $99. Plus, save 40 to 50% on rugged American Tourister luggage. Great savings on Joe Namath dashing silk sport coat Hager slacks duo and American Tourister at Anthony's. Good show.
We'll keep you looking good for less at Anthony's.
It's Manhattan's Parade of Savings, the furniture value event of the year.
Every department of both great Manhattan stores is full of beautiful new quality furniture.
And every piece is guaranteed to be the lowest priced in Oklahoma.
Save on famous brand living rooms,
bedrooms,
dining rooms,
occasional tables, recliners,
bedding, accessories.
Everything priced to make it easy for you to have a home that's beautiful to look at.
And comfortable to live in. Come see the Parade of Savings.
Now at Manhattan.
Know what? Now Wendy's is making bacon.
No faking.
bacon? Wendy's is making bacon. Introducing Wendy's Bacon Cheeseburger. Crisp, lean strips of bacon on top of a Wendy's cheeseburger to become Wendy's new hot and juicy bacon cheeseburger.
We're taken with bacon.
So come try Wendy's new bacon cheeseburger.
We're making bacon for Wendy's kind of people.
Foggy in the morning,
Yeah,
huh?
probably will be.
Jim and I talking about the weather. Could be a little bit foggy come tomorrow morning.
And we're downplaying that rain possibility. Yeah. Light rain or drizzle's a possibility with all the low clouds, but insignificant. Your chance of getting wet about slim to none, I would expect over the night. Let's look at the composite National Weather Service radar picture, and we'll see no precipitation over the state of Oklahoma, but out to the west, the Texas Panhandle, still some snow falling on up into the Oklahoma Panhandle as well, but it's not showing up right at this time. Up through Nebraska, likewise some snow, parts of Wisconsin, on into the Great Lakes area, some very, very light snow still reported at surface reports. Out to the west, this is another big weather story coming up for later this week. Another very windy storm coming in. Gale warnings along that upper California coast. Heavy snow warnings for the mountains of California, also the Tahoe Basin. So it looks like another strong storm now starting to affect the western part of the nation. Southeast in the Gulf Coast states, very wet today. Lots of showers and thunderstorm activity. You can see some of the brighter colors, the reds and yellows and greens. Those are very intense thunderstorms just south of the Florida Panhandle, right on up through the states of Tennessee and North Carolina. Let's jump around now and show some of max power. This is the Tulsa National Weather Service radar picture. Nothing is going on here at home. Lots of clouds, but this is all ground clutter at this particular moment. Let's jump east and west. We'll start out to the west. Amarillo, AMA, we can see a little bit of precipitation. It's mixing with the ground clutter, but onto the northwest and southwest, certainly out of the ground clutter pattern, and light snow is reported there. Even Lubbock's reporting light snow at the time, but that light precipitation out of the Amarillo radar range. Now this is Little Rock, Arkansas, 180-mile range. And we can see quite a bit of precipitation in the form of light to moderate showers and thunderstorms. Heaviest thunderstorms I can see out to the north and northwest of the Little Rock region. That activity not moving our way at all. Looks like generally a dry night for us, even though we do have lots of clouds, northerly winds, pulling some of that cooler air down. 46 in Tulsa, 38 over in Oklahoma City, 39 in Ponca City. Made it up to 73 this afternoon in McAllister. Out to the west, 32 degrees, a great difference between east and west. That at Gage, 31 at Dodge City, 29 early morning low at Guyman, and anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow out over the western part of the Oklahoma Panhandle. Some of those roads are closed at this moment thanks to the snow. Let's take a look at our record book now. It was a cloudy one, but fairly nice. 61 our afternoon high. 47 was our morning low, but current reading of 46, the 24-hour low. No rainfall for the past 24 hours. About 1.33 inches now ahead of schedule. Pollen count 944, air quality good, sun up 634. It's cloudy and 46 out at the airport with northerly breezes, 83% relative humidity, and the barometer on the rise. Some of the early morning low, or the low temperature for the nation, 10 degrees at Gunnison. These are afternoon high temperatures we're looking at otherwise. 36 at Bismarck, 38 degrees in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, 62 degrees down in Kansas City. Of course, the big story coming up, the big storm out to the west. Heavy weather down in Florida. As a matter of fact, west, just north of the Miami area, tornado was reported earlier today, 81 degrees. That's the nation's high in Florida this afternoon. This is the forecast map, valid tomorrow evening at sunset. High pressure through the midsection of the nation, but storminess moving our way out west. Also some showers and thunderstorms over the southeast. Dab of snow for the Great Lakes. For tonight, rather foggy, cloudy, only a slim chance of light rain or drizzle, 42 degrees by morning. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy but cool, 55 degrees tomorrow afternoon. For tomorrow night, cooling down just a tad, down to 38. Friday looks nice, 60 for a high, 62 Saturday. Chance of showers back in the forecast for Sunday. Maybe I'll be wrong.
That's all right. I hope you are. Boy, have we been lucky.
Yes,
snow
indeed.
in the Panhandle, rain in Arkansas tonight, but
We're
nothing
high and
around
dry.
here. It's the way we want it. Thank you, Jimmy. Well, it sounds like alphabet soup. TU takes on TCU in the NIT. But it was big basketball action in any event. Bill Tegans has that, and the rest of the sports up next.
At Today's Homes, you can be a homeowner today, and then in July you can start making monthly payments. Today's Homes will help you get in the mobile home of your choice, help you find a city lot for sale or rent, and arrange for improvements and financing. Everything you need now, not later. And you get to keep that money you would have been paying for rent. There must be something you can do with that kind of money.
A mobile mansion all your own at Today's Homes. Mobile home.
Admiral at Memorial. Some folks make promises. Today's Homes delivers.
Some typical adults confess their deep, dark secrets.
I have coffee every morning with a tall, handsome yellow bird.
I know all the words to Sesame Street. Doobie-doo, sunny day.
Oscar! Oscar! Can you come out and play?
Join them all at the brand new Sesame Street live show, Sesame Jamboree. If you feel you need an alibi, bring a kid along.
Maybe Center, March 23rd through 27th. Tickets available at Carson Attractions, Fairgrounds Pavilion, and Johnny Brown.
Tulsa is Mazda truck country, and spring is truck season at Passport Motors. To celebrate, we've put 2 of our Sundowner pickups on display in Woodland Hills Mall. Take a good look at those beautiful Mazda trucks, as low as $54.75 delivered. Then register to win a new 83 Mazda B2000 Sundowner Deluxe for your very own from Passport. Entry blanks at Passport Motors and all Woodland Hills Mall stores. Second and third prizes will be $500 and $250 gift certificates good at any Woodland Hills Mall store. Drawing Tuesday, April 12th.
Better put them back.
With prices of department store shoes what they are,
Put them back.
if someone could sell those same brand names for less,
Put them back.
they'd be famous. We are. We're Famous Footwear, and we carry the same brand name shoes department stores carry, but at prices that fit you better.
Put them on, guys. We're going to save $20.
Discover the same brand names for less at Famous Footwear. Finally, a shoe store that fits the times.
I was trying to think how to describe the very unfortunate loss of the Golden Hurricane tonight, and Bill told me to say it's curtains.
Unfortunately.
And that is unfortunate, but that is true.
It was a great ball game. Unfortunately, it wasn't sold out, too, but it was a great basketball game, and TU just came up a couple of points short tonight in the opening round of that NIT. TC over Tulsa, 64-62 the final, and that ends the Hurricane season. But a good basketball game tonight. Tulsa fell behind 8-0 right off the bat. That's David Nutt on the jumper from outside for TCU. Tulsa battled back. Steve Harris to Herb Johnson along the baseline for 2 on the turnaround jumper. Steve Harris, the All-Valley guard from TU, hits from long range. Hurricane battling back, trailing the Horned Frogs by 4 at halftime. It was not a sellout tonight. Crowd announced at 9,100. Browder on the jumper for TCU, and it was Browder and Doug Arnold who did most of the damage to Tulsa tonight. Hurricane never led in the first half, led by 2 a couple of times in the second half. The game was tied with just seconds left when Arnold will get the ball here on the far corner. 4 seconds left on the clock when the ball goes through the net, and that was the ball game. TU could not get a shot off, and the Hurricane drops a 64-62 game to TCU.
I was very proud of our players. You know, we got down 8-0, and we came back and kept plugging away, and then got a lead, and couldn't hold on to it. You know, we couldn't do a lot of things simply because there's a 30-second clock, and it worked to our advantage, I thought, most of the time. Our press kept them going down, trying to get the shot up quicker. But a lot of times they came up with some nice shots.
You know, they was ready for the ball game, and they've been in tournament action before, I'm sure, and they know what it's like. You could tell, you know, how it was when it was winding down for 3 to 4 seconds. None of them didn't get nervous. You know, they was, you know, well together. You know, didn't none of them get out, you know, out their game, and they just stayed prepared. You know, they was well coached, and they had a good ball club.
Here's the way the NIT looks tonight, the Tulsa-TCU game. South Carolina, a 10-point winner over Old Dominion. Iona defeats St. Bonaventure at the half. LSU over New Orleans. And also at the half, DePaul leads Minnesota by 1. Later tonight, Idaho and Oregon State. Texas El Paso plays Fresno State. New Mexico State's Weldon Drew is the Valley Conference Coach of the Year. He beat out Wichita State's Gene Smithson and Illinois State's Bob Donewald for that award. The Valley Player of the Year is Wichita's Antoine Carr. The newcomer of the year in Indiana State's John Williams. The Fort Tulsa Pro-Am Golf Tournament put on by the Junior League is set for May 2nd this year at Southern Hills Country Club. Today, the Junior League announced that Ray Floyd, Calvin Peete, Fred Couples, and Lanny Watkins will be among those playing in this year's event. Floyd won the PGA on the Southern Hills course just last August. ORU Titans pushed their record to 19-3 today with a 14-4 victory over Kansas State at Johnson Stadium. Titans broke through with 5 runs in the first inning to put it away early. One on Keith Muka blasts a shot all the way to the fence. Eddie Merklin comes around to score. Titans on top 1-0 in the first inning. Then with 2 away, Mike Batesole tags Kansas State pitching for a solo shot to about the same area. This one clears the fence, making the score 3-0 ORU. Titans led 5-0 after the first and go on to a 14-4 victory. ORU now 19-3 on the season, rated second in the country. The Tulsa Speedway season opens on March the 26th at the Speedway track at the fairgrounds. Today, the fleet of cars and boats sponsored by the Oklahoma Fixture Company were on display. Fixco had one of racing's most successful seasons a year ago. Their cars won 4 of 6 titles. Jerry Stone, one of the most successful drivers, and I asked him how he can top last year.
Oh, I don't know, Bill. We'll just do the best we can. The only way we could top it probably would be if we could win more races and still win the championships. But I really figured it'd be tough to repeat what we did. We had we ran well, and we was plenty fortunate too. You know, you got to have some luck along with everything else. So we'll just do the best we can.
Big Dreams, the winner of the allowance feature today at Oaklawn, paying $520, $320, and $280. Reasonable ground. And my favorite horse, I'm Nobody's Fool. And the daily double numbers 8 and 12 paid $113.80. Decision decided in Susie's Times, and that is sports.
Great. Well, I just think that we should give TU a big pat on the back. They did play a good, close game.
It was really a rebuilding year for them, and finish with 19 wins is not bad.
Thank you, Bill. And when we come back, a visit with the Music Man.
Clothing for Eyewitness News provided by Harold's.
Discover exciting elegance at the 1983 Spring Parade of Homes. 2 locations showcase 30 outstanding new homes by some of Tulsa's most inspiring builders. Broken Arrow Cedar Springs development features 21 beautifully affordable family homes. And South Tulsa's elegant Sunland Park features 9 luxurious new estates. $1 lets you browse through all 30 homes. The show, sponsored by the Builders Association of Metro Tulsa, continues through March 20th. Look for details in your Tulsa newspaper.
Now, 2 Hardee's Homemade Rise and Shine Sausage and Egg Biscuits for $1.29.
What are you waiting for?
Let's go. You got the keys? Don't you have them?
2 for $1.29. They're baked from scratch every morning, and they rise up golden and good.
Check your pockets. I did.
With scrambled eggs and country sausage.
Where are the other keys?
Come back, get them. The offer is for a limited time only, so hurry. 2 Hardee's Biscuits for only $1.29.
Select remarkable values in upholstered furniture now during the spring special event at Kathy's. This is a cooperative effort between Kathy's and Baker to bring you money-saving investments. Choose from our large displays, or you may special order. The special values await you during our spring upholstery event at Kathy's, 8th to 9th on Main.
The essence of the new Thunderbird is performance. You ask, it answers. Acceleration, handling, braking. You demand, Thunderbird responds as if it were a part of you. Your 6th sense on the road. Thunderbird for 83. Before we made it beautiful, we made it right.
See your Tulsa Metro Ford dealers and test drive the truly great T-Bird soon.
He may have been successful in New York and Hollywood, but Broken Arrow's Ralph Blaine has never left home. Today his hometown honored the man who co-wrote such memorable tunes as Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Randy Lewin was there.
Try to use a little control when all clears in. You'll be top man on the top.
To these people, he's just plain Ralph Hunsaker, born and raised and still living in Broken Arrow. But to the rest of the world, he's Ralph Blaine, with 2 Oscar nominations and, as of last week, a place in the prestigious Songwriters Hall of Fame. He's been a hit on both coasts. Here's a younger Ralph with Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland, who sang songs he co-wrote for Meet Me in St. Louis.
I'm very proud of it. I think that picture holds up better than any.
40 years have gone by, and you can still find him at the piano. And what does the writer of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas think about today's music?
Awful. It means that they can play anything they want to and push it and push it and push it, and the kids will buy it. And that's not good.
True, times and tastes change, and this Chamber of Commerce luncheon isn't Broadway, but hey, it's still showbiz.
If your temper's getting the top hand, all you have to do is just stop. Pass that peace partner that had to like the Choctaws, Chickasaws, Chattanooga, Chippewas.
March 16th, 1983. It's Ralph Blaine Day. Randy Lewin, Channel 6 Eyewitness News, Broken Arrow.
He not only writes the songs, but he sings pretty good, too.
You know? Well, Ralph's one of those kind of guys. He fits in everywhere, and you can sit and talk to the man for 2 or 3 hours. You know, we had him on Tulsa Afternoon recently, and he's the kind of guy you can just talk to forever. He's got one story after another. Big Hollywood celebrities involved in it.
I don't think we'll let him do his rendition of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas and leave us out of it.
No way we sing. You're right there, children. That's Tulsa tonight for this Wednesday. Hope you'll join the Eyewitness News team again tomorrow. Have a good
Tonight on Late Night 6, it's Kiefer on the CBS Late Movie, followed by Night Watch. But first, it's Heart to Heart, next here on 6.